Hello everyone, my name is Wei. I'm making this video for number 2 milestone of educational technology class. In this video, I'm going to make a demo for for the web application that I'm developing for interactive simulation of a undergraduate developmental biology lab. For more information and background of why I'm developing this web application, please refer to my proposal on number 1 milestone. And please feel free to download my application and play with it if you would like to. So to run this application, you can simply run npm start, and this is the user interface for the application. You can either start a simulation based on your experiment setup, you can reset your experiment setup, and then you can calculate the recipe based on your experiment setup. So right now, the calculation of the recipe is not implemented yet. I would like to have it in the final version of my web application. So in the experiment setup panel, you can select the experiment setup that you want to do simulation. So right now, I have, for example, you can choose which species of sea urchin you want to use. Right now, I have two species you can choose, Purpuratus and Variegatus. You can choose the temperature you would like to use for your culture in your simulation. Right now you have 4 different temperatures you can use. And you can choose the seawater salinity, and if there is any drugs you want to test in your experiment. So after you select your experiment setup, you can review it in the information panel. And if you have noticed that after you choose the experiment setup in the setup panel, the corresponding information will be automatically updated in the information panel. For example, let me introduce the last part of the application first. So this is the simulation panel. So this panel includes a timeline, which indicates different stages of the embryo. For example, this is 0 hours, this is 1.4 hours, this is 2.5 hours post fertilization. And for each stage, there will be a real sea urchin pictures to indicate how would the embryo look like at a certain stage based on your experiment setup. So let's run a simulation. So if you want to use, for example, if you want to use Variegatus and you want to do 20 degree, you want to do 30 ppt as the salinity, and let's not include any drug right now, and you start simulate, then you will notice that this this simulation panel will be updated automatically based on your new experiment setup. So when you increase your temperature, you would expect that the embryo would develop faster because the temperature is higher. If you click simulation again, then the picture will be updated again. So I wrote the underlying logic for the simulation based on all information that I can find from the literature or from the experiment done in our university. So how about if you do a very high salinity, then you will see that the embryo will not develop at all. It will be one cell stage for all stages. So what about if the students select a combination of experiment setup that no one has done before? For example, the student want to do a combination like this. They want to use perforators and do 25 degree and do 30 ppts. And when they do simulation, they will got warning telling them that there's not enough information from the literatures, so that they can explore more in their own experiment. So they can use this combination of experiment setup in their own experiment. Also, you can reset so that the values will be reset to the default value. Um, okay, so this is all the functions I have so far for this application. Please feel free to let me know your suggestions and if you have any concerns or advice for this application. Thank you very much for your attention.